Sorry, I'm a little late. Had to take something out of the oven. Let's see. All right, I'm gonna give it a minute. Let some people show up. Uh, for those of you who are watching this afterwards, I have put a new quiz up at the at 5:30 this afternoon. I'm gonna put a new quiz up that covers everything we went over today. For you guys to study over the next couple weeks. Uh, yeah. I can create a highlight now. Give it a minute before I get started again. Uh, Hope everybody's safe. I know some people are going back to work already. Uh, I got a call from a friend that is an apprentice, and he got a call to Jefferson. He's starting tomorrow. Last I checked, he was like number 15 on the books, so I don't know exactly what that means. I haven't talked to the school uh, about the books or anything. Uh, I just found a new button that I can use. I will be using it uh, from here on out. It's create highlight. Oh, create highlight video. I don't want to create a highlight video. Uh, I thought that was going to uh, put a timestamp in the video so that I could notify people like, hey, here's where I start actually doing the lesson. Because I like to give it a minute to let some people gather. But we're going to get started. Uh, I'm ready to be done for the day. I'm sure you guys are too. Which NEC article covers branch circuits? That's Article 210. We already covered that earlier. So, yeah. Which NEC article covers switches? 404 is switches. 406 is receptacles. And 410 is, shoot, what is 410? Drawing a blank. 410 is divided into 15 parts. We are still in the table of contents for these answers. 3 and 4-way switches are required to be wired. So this is the very beginning of 404. The keywords I'm going to look up to find this answer. Obviously, switches. Switches is one of the good keywords for this. Article 400 is a very long. 404, and then switch connections. So switches and connections, or even simply switches and 3 or 4-way switches. Either of those would be good. Next up, a circuit breaker used as a switch is permitted to disconnect the grounded conductor where all circuit conductors are disconnected simultaneously. Uh, so yeah, you can switch the neutral, provided that you switch the hot as well. Uh, and that is the very next paragraph, grounded conductors. If you found the last one, this one's right there. So that is true. Which of the following are not required to be listed? Well, if you go through this, the only one of these things that's an answer choice that does not have, like, if you look up lamp holders, luminaires, and retrofit kits, it says in that article are required to be listed. If you look up receptacles, receptacles are required to be listed. Switches, it says nowhere in the switching category that switches have to be listed. And so the note is the places you can look up the things that are switches are listed. And it's a kind of weird the way this question is worded. In that you have to look up something that's not there. You have to look up the things that are there and go backwards, work backwards from there. Receptacles and tamper resistant is the words I would look up in this one. So yeah, receptacles, tamper resistant is what I would look up. So yeah. And they basically the requirement here is it doesn't have to be tamper resistance if it's over 5.5 feet off the ground. Basically, kids can't stick keys in it if it's that high off the ground. Tamper locations. Questions like this are super easy. Ask which of these three things listed addresses a specific thing. You just look up the three things they gave you options to look up. That one's a pretty clear. You start looking in 590.3. You look around there for 590.5. 410 is 410.160 is going to be. You're saying two of the last question both say wet locations. So this is receptacles in wet or damp locations, Corey. So even without looking it up, I know that 406 is the correct answer because 406 is the receptacles article. 404 is the switches article, and 410 is the lamps, luminaires, light fixture article. But thank you for pointing that out, Corey. Decorative lighting and similar accessories used for holiday lighting and similar purposes in accordance with 590.3. Okay, we talked about this. 410.160. I will look that up just for sanity's sake. 410.160. That's got to be near the back. Listing of decorating lighting. So yeah, if you looked up I bet lighting decorative in the index. Lighting decorative 410. That is Roman numeral 15. Oh, sorry. I didn't mean to hit the mic. 410 Part 15, and it's the only thing in Part 15. And then switches. We're back to 404 for switches. 408. 404 is very short. 404 is very short, so that can help there because you can just hit flip to 404 and look through the whole damn thing to see if you find it. Grouping is the word I'm looking for. That's what I'm thinking it's going to be. Accessibility and grouping. 404.8. And then 404.8b is voltage between adjacent devices. So 300 volts. All right, that concludes our lessons for the day. If you have finished the lessons, let me look at the results. Barbosa hasn't started yet. So if you have finished the lessons for the day, I wonder why Grant has a check mark and nobody else does. That 590.3b is time constraints. Oh, time constraints about lighting? Is that? I'll look it up too. 590.3b. Oh, this code book is disgusting. Temporary installations. So we're talking about Christmas lights here. 590.3b is time constraints. Yeah, 590.3b has almost nothing to do with this question, Corey. Except that they're talking about like it's to take you to a temporary lighting section. Now, if you look at the 590.5, for turn the page. Listing for decorative lighting. So that's another spot where it says that same information. It's not too far away. They're talking about Christmas lights. Only allowed to be up for 90 days. Has to be listed. And that B talks about holiday decorative lighting and similar purposes. That's what they're. Hope y'all can't hear my vacuum cleaner fussing at me. I don't know what. It's stuck on something. Yeah. Any other questions? All right. Well, I think the delay is longer than what I waited. Don't forget to like and subscribe to my YouTube channel. Hit the bell icon for notifications. All that good stuff. And thank you for joining us. Thank y'all for your participation today. Really can't wait till we can get back to our life, our normal way of doing things. I'm sure everybody is feeling that. But yeah, this is a little bit later in the day than we normally go. But I wanted to give y'all enough time each quiz to like for sure, and I could probably tighten it up, but I don't want to, keep y'all sitting at your computer or your phone all day every day that we have class. Like I went and started cooking this time while we were on a quiz. Like started dinner and got some housework done in between quizzes. And I'm sure some of y'all are trapped at home with your kids, so it's hard to focus for 2 hours at a time. So I don't want to put that on y'all to have to do. Anyway, you guys have a good weekend, and I will put up that quiz at five. The review quiz at 5:30. If you wanted to go over everything, but it's gonna stay up for. It might come down tomorrow during the day, for a minute, but it's gonna be up all until the next class. All right, guys.